What's good, y'all? Welcome to Conversation Piece, the show where we peel back the layers of Indianapolis, one perspective at a time. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and this is In Conversation With, our monthly live show that will become the main show in 2026, but you're going to have to come to our season 1 finale next month to find out more about that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later tonight. But anyways, before we get into this whole thing, I got to shout out our partners real quick. Shout out to Draft. This is the space that we are in right now. Anna in the back here helps run this space and manage the space. So thank you for hosting us. Shout out to Tinker Street Restaurant, Jordan, Chef Tyler, Claire, the whole team back there. That's the shrimp and grits that you are eating. They have been great partners of us and are part of our giveaway at the end of the night too. You are good to go. Take a seat wherever you want. Shout out to Ash and Elm, this lovely table up here in the front, for providing beverages for everybody tonight. If you are over the age of 21 and you're interested in cider, they got some really good stuff back there. So go check that out. And last but not least, shout out to Amanda Gibson, Indie Dough, for the cookies and dessert that you're having too. So part of what we're trying to do on the show is partner with people here locally, support small businesses, and build community together. So couldn't do it without our partners, so appreciate y'all. Thank you. All right, so tonight is going to go, if you have not been to one of these, we're going to have our conversation. Then we're going to do a quick Q&A, open up the audience if you have questions. I know we got a lot of people in here that are big Skypp fans. Then we'll do the giveaway. We have 2 giveaways, one at the $10 tier and then one at the $20 tier. And then we'll say our goodbyes. If there happens to be extra food left, I think that they'll probably send you home with some if you want it. So
save me a bowl, please.
This is his meal, so you got to save Skypp at least 2 bowls.
Appreciate it.
For sure. All right. We're going to get into it now. So if you listen to Conversation Piece, normally I craft a intro for my guests, an attempt to encapsulate who they are without giving away too much. It's going to be a little bit different this time because 1, this person has already been on the show. And 2, when I announced this event, somebody commented what I thought to be the only thing needed to be said to kick off this conversation. So shout out to Kendall, who is not here, but shout out to Kendall. So without further ado, my guest today is Naptown Hip Hop. Please join me in welcoming back to the show, the one, the only, Skypp. What's good, bro?
What's going on?
I'm feeling good. It feels good to be back in the saddle with you, sitting down for a conversation.
My pleasure, 100%.
All right. How do you feel hearing somebody say that you are Naptown Hip Hop? What does that make you feel?
Nah, that's crazy. Kendall, this is Kendall, the female artist, right?
This is Kendall, the female artist,
So
yes.
I met Kendall when I was subbing at her school. She was in high school.
Okay.
And I was like maybe 23, 22, subbing at Warren. And I met her. She was extremely quiet, like super shy. Never would have thought she'd be a hip hop artist ever.
Okay.
Ever. So when she came out her shell, I'm like, wow. But that was like my little homie back then. She was like one of the good kids. You didn't have to worry about, her running the hallways and all that. So she was a good kid. So for her to say that, it means a lot to me, but just goes to show the lasting effect I leave on people. I try to leave on people.
100%. That's a great segue into this conversation because you left a lasting impact on me when we first met and then first had our conversation. So I actually consider you to be one of the most important people that I've met on this journey that I've been on. And I'm going to elaborate really quickly. So for about a year before Skypp came on the show, we had been playing basketball together up in Carmel at the Monon Center. And I only knew him as a basketball player, and he was really good. But one day I was scrolling through Instagram, and I heard a familiar voice, and it was his. And I was like, oh, let me watch this. And he was talking about mental health in relation to Sorry for My Trauma, the album that you just dropped. I had no idea at that point that you did anything other than basketball. Yeah. So I was really like, oh, I got to talk to this guy about this. And so I brought up to you, like I come across that clip and I wanted to have you on the podcast because I was getting ready to start having conversations about Indianapolis. And you said yes. A little bit more before I ask you this question. We actually recorded 2 conversations. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
We recorded at the Union Station place over by Lucas Oil. And about halfway through that recording, I looked down at the thing and I'm like, I don't think that is recording this audio. And I was just like, we're having a great conversation, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to hope that it is. It did not record. Yeah. I remember feeling horrible because this is like one of my first conversations with somebody from Indianapolis, like really like that. And I was just like, I got to ask him again. I was going back and forth. My wife's like, just ask him. It's fine. And so I asked, and you said yes. And you came back to my house and had a conversation, which you then elaborated further on the community of hip hop artists and people that make up this like music community in Indianapolis, which really opened my eyes to Double A, to Baby Ebony, to people beyond just Maxie, who I was just even passingly familiar with. You really turned me on to all the people. Sure. So to kick it off, do you remember why you said yes when I asked you to come back after we had an hour-long conversation? And like, what made you say yes?
I mean, it's a given, bro. Like, we was tearing them up at the Mo 9, bro. A given, like.
I like that it's basketball related.
Like, when I play basketball, I don't talk about my music. That's my getaway from my life.
Yeah.
So people find out about me, and that's cool and all, but, like, I considered you a friend outside of music, which was rare.
I appreciate that.
Like, all my friends come from me being Skypp, so for me to step into another light and have different kinds of friends, like, it's a given, bro, you know?
For sure. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. One of the people you put me on to was 4200 Corey, who I thought was going to be here tonight. So I'm going to hold him to that. Anyways, one of the things that he said when I had him come on the show was that you can really tell who somebody is by the way that they play basketball.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, who is Skypp as the basketball player? So like when I see you, you're a guy that launches from 40. Like you pulling up right as we cross half court. You got a solid handle and you know how to get to the basket and finish. Hi, thanks for coming. And so when I think about it, I think about a person who is like unafraid to do something wild, but knows how to like put your head down and like take control of the situation when you need to. So like when I see that, like that's how I read you as a person from your basketball style of play. How do you read yourself? And then I'm going to ask you to do a read on me real quick.
I consider myself to just be a dog. For real, man. Like when I play basketball, like my number one priority in basketball is defense. Like it's different. When you play in different crowds, you have different roles. When I play with you guys, I take on more roles. So you guys probably didn't know I'm really a defender at heart. That's what I want to do is shut down the best player. That's always been my priority. But I will do anything to win.
Yep.
That's my thing. You know what I mean? And it's the same way with music. Like when I was like in my heyday, like I'm like, I would do anything to be successful. Mm-hmm. I work every day, every minute of every day, no breaks, no girlfriends, no parties, nothing. I'm going to just work. And that's how I am in basketball. Like I don't take no plays off and I don't take no days off.
Yep.
You feel me?
Yep. Speaking of impact, I have one thing more before we move on to the music. A very lasting memory of you when I pulled a Ben Simmons in a game and we were on the same team and didn't put the ball up to win the game. We ended up winning that game, but you let me know. You got to shoot that. And
yeah.
I've never
I don't remember that.
I will never forget it.
You were wide open under the rim?
I was wide open under the rim. I think I kicked it to you, but it was fine. We won the game.
Yeah, we always won.
Anyways. Excuse me. So I brought up Sorry for My Trauma. That was the album that just came out when we first had our conversation. You then dropped, in that time, you dropped a number of singles. You've also dropped a sequel, Sorry for My Trauma 2. I can only assume you got new stuff cooking. Yeah. But I'm wondering when you're in your creative process, when you're in like song creation mode, how much does your old work influence what you are doing now?
That's a crazy question. I never got that one. I always try to do something different, which is a gift and a curse. I try not to create the same album twice.
Sure.
So, and it's a gift and a curse because the curse of it is a lot of people just want you to be the same person because that's the person they like. So when you change it, it's like, this ain't the person I liked.
Yeah.
I deal with that a lot because I change styles a lot. But the gift is the fact that I can change styles so often. So the only time I would resort back to an old project is just to hear it and tell myself we're not recreating that. We're going to make something totally different than anything you've ever done, which is why my catalog is so diverse and it's in so many different directions.
So how different then? Because I think that makes a lot of sense when I think about Sorry for My Trauma 2 now.
Yeah.
But that's like a literal direct sequel, which is like, you feel like it has to be driven by the first project. But would you say that how much like do those two things interplay for those projects? It
was both trauma driven, but it was two different perspectives. So Sorry for My Trauma 1 was the soulful, I feel bad for myself. I'm sorry for whoever I hurt. Sorry for My Trauma 2 was solely based on my time in the streets. Solely. That whole album was based on that period. But Sorry for My Trauma 1 was more so like childhood, upbringing, how I got hurt, who I hurt.
Sure.
You know, but 2, it wasn't about being hurt. It was about being in grind mode, like dark. It feels dark, it sounds dark.
Yeah.
It's just a mentality.
For sure.
Sure.
Is there apart from like driven by trauma being at like the foundation, is there a similar theme or through line for those two albums that comes together? Or is it like we are taking these two different perspectives and we're going to run with it in completely different ways?
Yeah, it was really no correlation. I just felt like it was a lot I hadn't said in a lot of my life concerning trauma that I hadn't covered in 1. So I wanted to do a part 2 because being in the streets is very traumatic. It really is. Like, you don't really realize it until you in it, but that in itself needed its own project. Because, like, it's glorified in hip-hop music, but even the glorification of it is trauma.
Sure.
Like, people don't even know they glorifying. They just talking their life. And that's their life. They proud of their life. It's nothing to be proud of, though. That's the trauma in it. You know what I mean? So it just needed its own voice. So I wanted part 2 to be its voice.
For sure. Well, I appreciate that. I think the thing that makes me think about is how one of the things that we talked about before was like finding stability in not just music, but just like in all aspects, you know, and how that can be a really underrated quality that a lot of people like take for granted sometimes, don't really think about or put much stock into. We talked about, like, I bring that up because I feel like those projects elicit, at least in me, the sense of stability in the sense that like I'm taking things that are historically unstable or viewed as unstable, and I'm giving them form, foundation, structure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What we talked about how the hip hop scene in general here in the city was kind of working towards that.
Right.
Do you feel, what's your perspective on that now? Do you feel like in the last year and a half, almost 2 years since we had that first conversation, there's been a shift or a change in that way?
Nah, for sure. It's definitely more structure and more stability. We have, I don't want to say a sound, but just like a consistency about us now.
Sure.
And we have more diversity. So like a year and a half ago, I think the street artist was like, in my opinion, was the prominent artist in Indianapolis. Now it's like a good blend of people. The streets kind of is getting pushed back a little bit.
Okay.
And it's more so the diverse hip hop that's shining. So it's really just a different focus.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But I feel like that's good for us because like Indianapolis to me is a gangster city. Like when it come to hip hop, like the most prominent artists are the gangsters.
Yeah.
But now we got people like 4200 Corey in the spotlight. And that's dope to me. You know what I mean? To see that. Because he remind me of myself. When I first came in, it was all about Jiggle 8, Swole, Ice Cold, like all these street anthems. And then here come Backpack Skypp from the streets, in the streets. But he got a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why I shine so bright early in my rap career. It was because I was just something so different. And I feel like 42 doing the same exact thing. He's like being that change. And everybody's like, oh, this is different. But he's still talking the streets.
Sure.
It just sounds so much different than how they do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think it's just more diverse and it's more stable. Like we have more of a voice right now. I feel like if a label were to be looking at this city right now, they'll be impressed. They'll want to grab somebody from here. But a year and a half ago, I probably wouldn't have agreed with that.
Okay. So do you think it's just like the diversity, the number of different artists that are out doing it now or coming up now that has created some of that structure and stability? Or what is that, like, where do you think that structure and stability has kind of come from?
I think it's just been a shift in hip hop, period.
Oh, okay. So we're just like, it's like reflection of the larger culture.
Yeah, and I feel like that pure form of hip hop is just, the longevity is way better. Cause like it's trendy hip hop, and then there's like pure hip hop. Like the trends change so often. When you listen to what was hot in 2010, like it don't even sound good no more. It didn't age well.
Sure.
That's the trends of hip hop. They don't age well. But then you got the pure hip hop that just lasts over time. You can listen to a Jay-Z album right now and it's gonna feel good because it was just a pure form of hip hop.
Yeah. That makes me think about like something just came out like for the first time in 20 years or something. There's not been a single hip hop track on the top 40 or something, which makes me think about how like, were we just in the trend rap for like the last 10 years, which has now been pushed out pure stuff.
Yeah, it was basically drill, like drill rap.
Okay.
Basically. I mean, it's different forms of hip hop. It's so many forms of hip hop that get neglected for real. But I feel like that the drill rap was on top. And I mean, I'm a fan of some drill rap. It ain't like I'm against it or nothing like that. Yeah. But it's trendy. It ain't really like pure. It ain't original. It's just a trend.
What is pure hip hop to Skypp?
Like when I listen to it's really underground, to be honest with you. It's coming to the forefront, but it's more underground. Like it's a artist from Cali named Buddy. Okay. I love Buddy. Like La Russell. I'm not even a huge fan of his music, if I'm being honest, but just his grind.
Sure.
Like I love his grind. Like that's old school stuff. How you grind. Of course, your J. Cole's, and you know all that. That's just a pure form of hip hop. Like getting down to the lyricism and introspection, and just being vulnerable. Like that's not really common in hip hop in the last 5 years.
For sure.
But
well, and that's even three different styles of people, like music and versions of hip hop. Even I think that you just listed there too, which I think speaks to that.
Sure.
You mentioned the Naptown sound, and that was one of the things that we talked about in our first conversation too. Yeah. Because I think one of my questions was like, what is the Naptown sound? And you're like, we don't really have one.
We had one, but I don't think we have one anymore.
Or had one. I think it was like we were talking about. Well, anyways. Yeah. Had one. Didn't really have one, at least when we were talking. But now you're saying like we're kind of like moving back towards not necessarily having an Indianapolis sound, but like
identity.
The identity is almost that pure hip hop, at least from my perspective. Like the artists that are creating music here, it's kind of second to none when I think about, other places. Right. And that's almost from like top to bottom. And I think when you see things like Treese and you see a huge gatherings of people where you can really like tap into the whole, or at least a majority of the scene, like it really can at least open my eyes.
For sure. I'm still learning about artists. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Treese it was probably like 15 artists I had never heard of. So we got an abundance of artists.
Anybody that caught your eye in particular that you're like, oh, we need to be paying attention to this person?
I think forgive me if I say his name wrong, but P.S. Maldonado.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Like, he came out of nowhere, in my opinion. I know he been putting in work. Like, you don't pop out overnight. Sure. But I'm just saying, like, for me, that came out of nowhere. And he got a very unique style. Yeah. For sure.
For sure. Going back to the sound, the Naptown sound, how much do you feel like it's changed in terms of, like, we talked about stability and structure and like finding the identity of it, but like how much of it is fluid in terms of like when a new person pops onto the scene that you maybe have not heard of before and you're like, oh, that actually I think fits in what this large tent or umbrella looks like?
I don't think we have a consistent sound. I feel like I said we did earlier, but I don't think sound is the word. Yeah, I think we got a consistent sound nowadays, especially the artists.
Oh, we got a one maybe.
I don't think so. Okay. I mean, I feel like in 2025, everybody's mimicking other people. That's how I genuinely feel. Like our young street artists are sounding like the rest of the street artists, drill rap. Like,
gotcha.
I feel like we had a sound back when Jiggle came out and Ice Cold. Like when Swift the Gift was really producing everything, he was the sound, in my opinion. And Playboy came after him, and he kind of built a sound, but it wasn't the same sound. So It's like we haven't really stuck with a sound. Like when you listen to Detroit hip hop, you know it's Detroit hip hop.
Sure.
You know from their drums. I hate their drums. I hate them. I hate it. I really do. And I don't like how they rap on them or nothing, but that's their sound and it works.
Sure.
Memphis got a sound. Everybody got a sound. Cali definitely got a sound. Like, I don't know what's in their bass. It got a twang to it. That's their sound. We do got a lingo. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lingo, and I think the people who have, as of late, last 5 years or so, people who sound like Naptown lingo-wise would be like your Tony Cleveland's, your Maxie, even 42. Like, he used the lingo real good too. Yeah, like the lingo is definitely prominent, but I don't know about a sound though.
For sure. Yeah. Well, like, it's just a reflection of the community that the sound and the music comes from. When I think about sound, is like really amorphous to me. I think about like. You were just talking about the pure hip hop. Like, I think when I think about what's the sound, I think it's just good music.
Yeah, for sure.
What we talked about it a little bit, but I don't know that I really like dove into it. What precipitated this shift from having like that Jiggalate style, like a sound to like losing a little bit of that? Like, what happened to, like, if you can share?
I think it was just the era of artists.
Okay. Was it like the trend? Like, we just got caught to trends and like, it pushed us away that way, or like, what do you think?
I think everybody was working with the same producer, and that producer had a sound. And over time, new people came into the light, and the older people went out of the light, and that sound went out with them. Yeah. Like, everybody's about originality in Indianapolis. Nobody's pushing a certain sound forward. They making their own sound. So if there was a producer who came and was like, I love what Swift the Gift was doing, I'm gonna try to sound like Swift the Gift, then the sound could have progressed. Sure. But nothing progresses because everybody wants their own sound. Respect. I mean, I respect it. I want my own sound. But I'm just saying, like, if you go to Detroit, all their producers are making Detroit-style beats. That's why they have a sound. Yeah. Nobody's trying to imitate anybody's sound in Indianapolis because nothing has made $1 million. Like, why would I want to imitate your sound if you ain't made $1 million off of it?
You think we're just waiting for that, maybe? Do you think there'll be a groundswell of, like...
I really genuinely thought Playboy was going to be the one to take his sound and make everybody want to do it in Indianapolis. Okay. But he got into too much drama. I love my boy to death, but he was like, it was too much beef and side stuff, and that affects your artistry. Sure. And they have to know that, you know what I mean? Like, you got to stay out of the way and grind, put your head down and grind, and all that side stuff got to go. Yeah. For sure.
Well, it's easy to get distracted, I think, especially now, like, so many things come up and get put in the way as a barrier or an obstacle that you wouldn't even know is that. But unfortunately, we live in society and systems that put us into these boxes and then take away from our creative expression, force us to not want to do that.
So,
so you talked about you talked about P.L. Spaldana, but I was just interested, like, really anybody else that you're interested in maybe like working with coming up as you work on new people stuff?
For sure. I was just talking to Wood. I ain't put Free on none of my projects. I got to put Free on a project. Damn. He put me on his project.
I was gonna say,
and
we came up too.
We came up together. We got 1 million songs together. You okay, baby boy?
Yeah.
Okay. We did millions of songs like back in the day, but I'm talking about like where we at now. I got to get bro on something.
For sure.
I got a record with Baby Ebony. It's sitting in the vault. I need to do something with that. 42, we ain't never made no music. We sat down about a month ago. We supposed to be doing something. It's crazy because it's a lot of people I haven't worked with.
That's interesting. You do a lot of your projects only have like 1 or 2 features, I feel like.
And that's not intentional. It's just when I'm in my bag, I'm in my bag. And I don't really think who can fit on this.
Sure.
I don't think like that. Yeah. I just finished the song.
You're just making the song for yourself. Yeah,
because I usually got so much to say, I don't really need nobody to add their input. But I'm a fan of so many people. You put me on the spot. I can't think of everybody distinct. I need to put distinct
I did this to you
on
last
project.
time, so.
Yeah, it's a lot of people I would love to work with, genuinely.
For sure. Yeah. Well, speaking of people, because originally I was going to ask you like new people, but I was going to say, and then I was going to transition by speaking of new people, we're both dads now.
Yeah.
Your kid is up in here.
Yeah, he over there tripping.
I think that's pretty wild. How's parenthood been for you?
It's It's different and in a great way. It's just different, bro. Like you talking to a person who never thought of having a kid. That was never a goal of mine.
Yeah.
So to have one and to realize how much of my life he controls is crazy. Like I have no life. Like the reason there is no new Skypp music is because of him. Like I go in the studio and as soon as he hear the music, he's running. What you doing? I'm gonna cry. You think you about to rap? I'm gonna cry. Like you're not about to rap, bro. So it's different. Like I live a whole new reality. You know what I mean? And I go so hard for my family. So it's like I'm working a lot more than I ever have. You know what I mean? And it's a whole new reality. I feel like a whole different person than I've ever been. Like I don't rap no more. I got hurt. I couldn't play basketball.
For sure.
Like those were my two loves, music and basketball. I haven't done either one consistently. I haven't played basketball since January.
Yeah.
Well, I played in Bloomington a couple weeks ago, but
I saw that.
I shouldn't have done that. But that was my two loves, and I'm not doing either, basically. So it's just like a whole new reality. I'm a husband and a father now, which is, you know, I never expected that. So being a dad, to answer your question, it's beautiful, like the most priceless, amazing thing I've ever experienced, honestly. But it's just so different. It's taken a lot of getting used to.
For sure.
And I'm learning a lot about myself and growing in ways I didn't even know I needed to grow in. So it's just a life changer. That's the only word I can say is life changing.
I feel you. I work at home, and when Van was born, I thought, I'll be able to still work from home. And like as soon as he was able to move, he could be in another state, and I could open my laptop, and he would be right next to me, going, "What are you doing?" No work done. No work done at home.
For real, man.
You said something the other day on your social media that really stuck with me. You said something about how nothing in the world can make sense, but when you look at your kid's face, it doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. Like that makes sense.
For sure.
How's it going?
Hola. What's happening? What's good?
You talked about how this journey has been teaching you things about yourself that you never even knew that you needed to learn.
Right.
What's one of those things that you've like learned about Skypp?
Like patience. So like when we was talking about basketball and I was saying how I just go get it. I mean, I grind hard. I don't take no prisoners. I just go. I can't have that mentality with him. Like, slow down, understand that he's a baby. He don't know how to talk. He don't know he don't know how to, you know what I mean, express himself.
Yes.
Relax. And that's taught me how to communicate with people, period. Like, just learning how to communicate with a baby that can't communicate back with you. So I try to give everybody that same grace now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's patience, but it's also being kind and being understanding and being empathetic. You know, it's so much to just being a human that you can learn from dealing with a baby.
Yeah.
That's why so many people just crash out, and when it comes to babies, they're not willing to be a better them for the baby. Yeah. They're so stuck in their ways. You know what I mean? So he's just taught me how to be a better human being. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. You have to be a better human being when dealing with a baby. You can't go into that relationship with all them toxic ways and the impatience and all that. You got to improve in every area of your life.
Yeah. That patience one is real. Trying to communicate. I'm losing my patience right now thinking about it.
Hey, shout out to Miss Rachel, boy.
Shout out to Miss Rachel. And every way. Shout out to Miss Rachel. She crushing it right now. You've talked about how like you're in a new reality. Husband, father, you're working, not really a lot of time to make music, not because of the injury, a lot of time to hoop. I'm interested though, what parenthood has taught you about yourself as a creative. Have you given any thought to that? Has there been time in the last year or so to think about that?
Nope.
Terrible question.
I'm thinking about it as you ask, and I haven't created enough to see what it's done.
I mean, you made like a 15-second song with your kid like 3 months after they were born. I feel like I was like, I'm ready for Dad Skypp, the hip hop artist. Yeah. I'm ready for Dad Skypp.
That was just a creativity right there. I don't know. It's just, I was telling my wife, I'm like, we're not getting a lot of sleep, and I don't know how to deal with this other than make a song. So I made a song called Bottles and Swaddles. And that was just what it just happened. You know what I mean? It wasn't no thought put into it. I mean, maybe it was, but I was too sleepy to think. So I just Just created.
You were just doing it.
I just did it.
You were just doing it.
And I've only released one song this entire year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I usually drop multiple albums a year. So it's just a new reality, man. I haven't been creating, so I haven't thought about that.
The song is fire. I was just listening to it today.
Appreciate it.
The man is a lyricist, but I think also it shows off your range. And so like we talked about, your style is like every style. Yeah. And I think you find really unique ways to blend those things together. That song is, and the beat is.
I appreciate it.
Banging.
Shout out to the Megalodon on the beat.
So I'm interested in like this idea of setting the music aside in order to step into this different reality.
For sure.
When you think about having to have done that and like your creative output is different, it's obviously less, but it's also different.
Right.
Like, have you envisioned a post hip hop artist Skypp, like a post rapper Skypp?
Yeah, I wanted to make a whole new brand outside of Skypp and like a mysterious different artist name and just drop it, post it, and let people receive it how they receive it. Like I've thought I've thought about erasing my whole catalog and starting over. Like,
damn.
So yeah, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm just saying that's just I play with those thoughts. Like, but it gets so tricky because unless you're like a superstar, that can burn you in so many ways, man. For sure. Like just a waste of content, or people just might not receive it well at all, rather than just continuing to be who you are and release it that way. So it's kind of risky, which is why I haven't done it. But yes, I have thought about that, and I may do it. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting that it's post Skypp is still creating music Skypp is what I heard.
So you mean like a different genre when you say post Skypp? Well, I kind of thought
like the way you kind of described it, it's almost like you've had the opportunity to kind of see yourself beyond the music artist.
You mean so like that's wearing like different hats?
Yeah. So
yeah, for sure. So yeah, for sure. So somebody had reached out to me recently and they want to start a label and they were like, how can you help me? And I'm just like, in every way. Like, I would love to be a person that guides someone's music career. I would love to do that. Like, I've learned so much. Shout out to my old manager, Uncle Jams. He taught me so much about the music industry. I don't think it's nothing I don't know. From publishing to copyright to registering your songs with all the organizations that need to be registered with, touring. I've done everything. I don't know if it's anything I don't know about the industry. So why would I keep all that knowledge to myself when I know it's a neglected area in Indianapolis? Like, I talk to people about, hey, what's your publishing company? They don't even know they get two different writer shares. You get publishing and writer share. And they just be like, yeah, I ain't got no publishing company. And it's just like, these are things we need because you get paid more money because you're getting paid from different avenues. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know, Song Trust and all these places, they should be registered. They're not because nobody's teaching them.
Yeah.
So, I would love to be an executive or manager. I don't know what hat it's going to be, but just somebody who can help guide a person in the right direction and have their business together so they can make money.
Yeah.
For sure.
What's the name of the label?
Sophisticated Street Music. It's always going to be that.
I knew you had it.
Yeah, it's always going to be that.
I knew you had it in you. I think that makes me think about like the conversation I had with Maxie. And he talked about like, for a long time, there was a lack of infrastructure in the city, like for the hip hop community specifically, to learn the things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think as we've talked about, stability and structure a little bit. Do you think like that has become more accessible? You just had a conversation about it. It seems like it's still kind of locked away a little bit.
But they don't know because they don't know though. Like,
sure.
What I'm saying is they don't know to learn it because they don't know it exists. So if they knew it existed, they could just get on YouTube and figure it out. It's really that simple in 2025.
Sure.
But they don't know until someone is put in their lives and tells them like, hey, you're probably missing like $1,500 on this song that you could have realistically, but you just don't know you can have it. Like I see people in Indianapolis who got songs with like 1 million streams and they probably only get a YouTube check. And it's like so much more money that's out there that's owed to them. It's just sitting somewhere. Yeah. Waiting for them to encode their record, put the ISRC code in, all this stuff, and you're going to get a bankroll. I'm telling you, especially with 1 million views. People say, hey, they don't pay a lot of money. one source might not, but it's about 4 different sources you can collect from. It's so much to it, man.
I don't know any of the numbers or letters you were just talking about, but
It's
I
so
feel
much to it, man.
I'm excited for, because you're already a teacher and an educator, so I'm excited for the Skypp Masterclass to start churning out not just connecting with the people who are already doing great music here, but like churning out successful artists who can create sustainability for themselves, because that's what we really want, right? Is like for people to actually be able to make it and to do the things that they want to do with their art, and not just like struggle and strive the entire time. Like that's not the goal, I don't think.
Yeah, I would love to put together a course or something just to help with stuff like this, for real. Because I make more money than people who I shouldn't make more money than, just because I know how to make the money. So I would love to share the knowledge. I really would.
Well, if you want to start a podcast, I know a guy.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. I don't want to keep you too late. I don't want to keep your son up too late.
Nah, he's all right.
You said you're about 100% back from your ACL, right?
I can do anything. It's just
almost
how
clear.
I feel when I do some of it.
Sure.
Yeah, like I can sprint, I can jump. I've already passed my test. So when you do a 9-month clearance test, which is next month on the 18th is my 9-month test, you have to take that same test at 6 months so your physical therapist can know what you need to work on to pass the 9-month.
Yeah.
I passed the 9-month at 6 months. So my doctor was telling me like, hey, if you see a basketball session where the guys aren't very good and you can give like 60 to 70%, go for it, which is why I played in Bloomington. Okay. I was like, these guys suck. I'm going out there and I'm playing. I went undefeated. It was the best feeling ever. And I walked off like no pain. Like it's weird when you're going through a surgery like this. Like I'm saying no pain, but it's something.
Sure.
And that's how I know I'm not ready.
Yeah.
But I could do it. I just don't know what I'm doing to myself when I do it.
Yeah.
So I would rather feel like I felt before the injury, before I go 100%.
Totally. I just mildly sprained my ankle at the Monon the other day, so I've been working my way back from that. Totally a similar injury, so I totally understand your pain.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Appreciate it. I in the same vein of like, I think it's really interesting that you had to do this while parenting as well. So like you're going through like 2 separate, really overwhelming journeys. I think at the same time. And not
to cut you off, but I got hurt in January. He was born in November, so he was 2 months. So I'm talking about I left my wife hanging for the most part. Like I couldn't get up. Like when I got hurt, I knew it was really bad. Yeah. Like I went like 4 days later to get checked, but I knew it was really bad because I couldn't do anything with my son. I couldn't pick him up, carry him to his bed. I couldn't stand up and change his diaper. It was bad. And like, don't even get me started on after the surgery. Like I was worse than when I actually got hurt.
Yeah.
I was just laid in the bed, drugged up for like a week. You know what I mean? So that was the most challenging thing mentally to know I can't help my family right now. All because I wanted to play basketball. You know what I mean? That's a lot to think about.
Totally. Shout out to you for taking care of the family, taking care of 2 people at once.
Nah, for real. Definitely took care of me.
What do you feel like you learned about yourself coming back from the injury? Like, I feel like a parenting probably took up a lot of that and was driving a lot of that, but I feel like there's something like in the recovery process. I'm interested in like what you might have took away from that.
Redundant. Patience. You better be patient when you're dealing with an injury like this. You better have the strongest mind, because I see why people don't recover from these injuries. Like, think about it. 9 months of straight grind for you to get back to yourself. I've taken a week or 2 off many of times, so I can only imagine what it's like for like a pro athlete. Like me and Kyrie got our surgeries like 2 days apart from each other, and I'm watching him, and I'm just like, the luxury of having all that support. Yeah, I've had no support. Like as far as my injury, I ain't talking about like my family.
No, totally. Yeah,
like,
you don't have the whole training staff.
Nobody's telling me to get up.
$multi-million facility to go to every day.
For sure. Nobody's telling me to get up and go get it. You know what I mean? So patience, man, and just like resilience. It's crazy. Like this is the craziest experience, way crazier than having a son. I know it probably sounds crazy, but this injury has been crazy. But I learned that I'm a dog.
I was gonna say, is
I'm
that
a
what
dog,
was affirmed
man.
for you? Like,
Yes, bro.
without a shadow of a doubt, like,
man, I go get it. I don't care how hard it may look, how much it may hurt. I'm gonna go get it. Like, to be honest with you, and I ain't never told nobody this. So I tore my ACL, and I didn't completely tear my meniscus initially. So I tore my ACL. I started pre-surgery therapy, and you know I was just going so hard. So what people don't know is before you go into surgery, you have to feel kind of normal. You can't go into surgery feeling terrible. So my surgery date was a month after I got hurt. My initial surgery date, I was going so hard with physical therapy, I completely tore my meniscus.
damn.
So it was slightly torn and it was healing for the first month, and I completely tore it, going so hard.
Got that
in
dog
physical
in you,
therapy.
dude.
For real. So I knew something was wrong. I was doing it on the steps, and all my wife heard was, ah! And she's like, what's wrong? I said, bring a crutch. I can't walk. And I was just getting ready for surgery. So I go in, he's like, dude, you've completely shredded your meniscus. Like,
Damn.
And he's like, what were you doing? I was just stretching, but like going too hard. You know what I mean? So my surgery got pushed back a month. Like, those are the things that can happen. And it was so discouraging. Like, I cried. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to set me back. But I was just a dog about it, though. I really was. Like, I'm up and at it. And I only took medication for 2 days after surgery. I was just a dog, bro. I'm telling you. Like, I just took it, bro.
That's insane to me.
I took it.
As a person who's had a pretty significant knee injury, that's pretty insane to me.
Yeah, I just took it, man.
Well, I think it's just, again, it just speaks to like the reaffirmation of like who you've kind of always known yourself to be, but to have to go through something at the same time as you're like relearning who you are as a parent, as a person, as a partner, to have to be like, oh, I have to physically relearn myself as well.
Facts.
I think is a testament to that dog inside you, for sure. Okay, so you're gonna get back to the court at some point in time.
Next month.
Not there.
Next month.
Oh, next month. Next month.
I'll be back.
Okay, I'll see you next month. We have a lot of crossover. Another thing that you kind of opened me into was how many hoopers there are in this community.
Yeah.
So not to bring it back to hoops, but I'm gonna bring it back there for a second. I thought there might be more people who are hoopers in here that did not make it because of the traffic. So I'm gonna put you on the spot right now.
You mad at 42, man?
Yeah. I'm going to put you on a spot right now, and I'm going to ask you, who would the 4 other people be that you'd squad up with if you had to pick a 5 to go against anybody?
In their prime or just right now?
From the hoopers that you know of. I guess in their prime.
In their prime, okay. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I haven't played basketball with many rappers, but I've heard about some of their
We'll go off of that.
Okay.
We'll go off the scouting report.
I'm going to take Debo. I'm going to take Free. I'm going to take Jetty. I've played with Jetty. That boy can hoop. He played college ball, too.
Out in New York, jet setting right now.
So I'm on my last. Can I get like 8?
You can get a 6-man.
I can get a 6-man. I'm going to tell you who can hoop. I don't know if y'all know Cairo.
Never met in person, bro.
Cairo, the artist. He can ball, bro. And I'm going to throw 42 in there. 42 just small, bro. He's small, man. I mean, he can play. Don't get it twisted. But he just small. And I'm a defense first guy. All I can see is somebody just backing him down. They going to ISO him.
Yeah.
I can't have that. But 6-man, Peyton Pritchard. Come on.
Yep. I like it. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you making the time to bring the fam out to have a conversation like this. I got a couple more questions before we get it. Open it up to the people. I was wondering, people might not know this, but you are a reality TV star as well. I was wondering what you learned about your time on House Hunters.
That House Hunters is fake, and that the home buying process sucks.
Yeah, that's very.
The only thing
true.
I appreciated about House Hunters was the check. We did not enjoy House Hunters. We were very excited initially.
Sure.
And after day 1, every day after that was just like, oh my God, here we go. Like our producer he was something. He was something, man. Like he wanted us to be something that we were not. Like I'm talking about redo it. We redoing certain lines 10 or 11 times when I thought this was just us sharing our personal experience.
Sure.
Our experience was twisted so that it was entertaining to him because he was the viewer.
Sure.
And I'm just like, I didn't expect it to be like that. It was dreadful.
Well, not to bring it. I did not mean to bring it up as dramatic.
It was dreadful. But hey, but we did our thing. And it just gave me insight on what reality TV is. It's not really it's based on reality, but it's twisted. So now when I watch reality television, I'm just like, I wonder how many times they had to redo that.
For sure. Yeah, you know I've heard that they do a lot of like editing behind the scenes to like shape the narrative.
It was no fun, man. It really wasn't. The funnest part was when we finished and got our check. No exaggeration. I was so happy it was over, man.
That was Get out of my house. Were you as happy as you were going into it when you thought it was going to be fun?
Yes. I was so happy it was over. I really was, man. And it was cold outside. I just wasn't up for it, man. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that was such a terrible experience.
It's all right. It's all right.
Back in the court next month. Slowly finding ways when we have time from the little one to make some music. He can come up here if he wants.
You put him down.
What's next?
Definitely, you already said it, the return to sports. I think that's going to help me creatively, right?
Sure.
Like, I feel like that's really going to help me get back in my bag and just exhale, you know what I mean? And just sweat out all those bad toxins, man. Just get it up out of me. I think it's going to help my creative juices flow. No Diddy. Come here, Bray. Hey, up here. Come here.
Up.
Come here.
Yeah.
I got tons of music, man.
What's up, little man?
I genuinely got tons of music, and it's so many different directions of artistic. Like, the art is crazy. So the hardest part about putting out a project right now is how I'm gonna mesh these sounds together. And I'm thinking about not even caring. I'm thinking about not even caring about that and just putting it out.
For sure.
Yeah. So music is definitely coming when he allows me to release some music. And that's all I'm trying to get back to is music and basketball, man. Like, for the first time in my life, I have stability, financially, and I have a family, which is pushing me to be stable and to be, just like level-headed.
Yeah.
I can't take care of my family being who I used to be. So I'm in a good place, trying to get back to Skypp, but find a balance at the same time between Skypp and husband, daddy. It's a lot. It really is. But especially for a perfectionist.
For sure. For sure.
Hard, yeah.
But we always try. I think everybody's trying to find that balance in their lives. And I, for one, can't wait to see you back on the court. Spit in that thing.
No Diddy, Pat. Hey, chill, bro.
Pause, my bad.
Bro. Damn, bro. He's tripping. Whoa.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a horrible way to end it. So it sounds like you need to bring back Skip Saturdays though for all that music. So it sounds like that needs to come back.
That's something I would love to hear from y'all. Like, what does the future of Skip Saturdays look like? Because it can't be what it used to be. So I will. Yeah, I agree, son. I don't know what it can be. So I would love to hear that from them later.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, we're going to do it. Let's give it up one more time for the homie Skip. All right, y'all.